connecting brands with customers in 2021. No matter what business you're in, all of your income is going to be directly equivalent to how well your brand does this one thing. And heading into 2021, after living through such a wild 2020, which is ongoing, the brands that get this one thing are going to really shine above all others. Today, we're answering the question on every entrepreneur's mind: how do I connect my brand with my customers in 2021? Did you know that every penny a company brings in is the direct result of listening? Magical things happen when a brand makes their community feel heard. People feel cared for. They feel important. They feel their connection to the brand grow stronger. And they even begin to fall in love. You've been in love with a brand before. I know I have. Now in 2021, more than ever, your ideal individuals need to know your brand is listening. They need to know you care. And a brand that can't show customers how much it cares by talking, and especially can't show how much it cares by selling. If you want your brand to become an inspiration to millions in this new world, your brand must master the art of listening. Today, I'm going to give you the 3 master skills of brand listening so your brand can go bravely into 2021 to come out of nowhere and become an inspiration to millions. They are: ask even when you know the answer. Assume every customer has something to teach you. And the magic of yes and. Did you know that about 75% of consumers believe that the brands prioritize profits over customer relationships? When I heard a whopping statistic like that, what I see is an opportunity for you to do better. Listening has never been more vital for brand survival than it is right now, especially when so many people come across the globe suddenly to find themselves relying on internet purchases in a way unlike they've ever needed to do before. Being heard is important, not just to some people, but to all people. Which means being heard is not just important to some customers, but to all customers. The digital marketplace has been radically ramped up, and so now is the time for radical listening. One very well-known brand has taken up the torch and has been exhibiting a form of radical listening that may surprise you. I'm talking about Instagram. One of the most populated social media platforms on the planet. For the past year, Instagram has been gradually rolling out a huge change in the way users interact with each other. They are removing likes. No more shall users be able to use the total number of likes and views other posts are receiving. It will still be an option to like the post, and the account holders will be able to see how many likes their posts receive, but the information will no longer be outward facing to the general public. It changes the culture dramatically. Several countries have already began to test this new change on Instagram out, and the feedback has been predominantly positive. Some influencers that make their living on Instagram are rattled by the change because vanity metrics such as likes and views are significant for attracting paid campaigns. But Instagram predicts that once the change becomes universal, that influencers and businesses alike will be quick to figure out new metrics for attracting one another. Also, when you think about Instagram is a business, and millions of dollars are being generated by influencers on Instagram, and none of that money is going to Instagram. So as a business model, it's clear that something needed to change. The dramatic change to the site is a decision made by Instagram as a result of radically listening to the overwhelming majority of their platform users, everyone else who isn't Insta-famous. The idea of removing likes is to take some of the pressure off of Instagram's full community. People who shy away from sharing their photos because they aren't perfect or wild or trendy or artful. Instagram was originally meant to be treated as a photographic slice of life platform, and that's what it used to be. So to get back to its original vision, Instagram hopes by removing the vanity metrics, they'll eliminate the feelings of shame and embarrassment their users experience if a post doesn't get noticed as much as the next guy's or as much as the last post they had. Instagram wants to boost morale and encourage their community to engage on the platform free from the anxiety of whether or not they should delete their pic because of the lack of likes and how that makes them feel a little bad inside. One study in particular found that Instagram has become the most detrimental social media platform for the mental health of young people. Likes are often viewed as a sign of popularity, causing many young users to suffer from lowered self-esteem, depression, anxiety, and even body issues. Whoa, it's getting thick. The goal the brand hopes to achieve is a shift in focus back to the positive aspects of Instagram, such as the opportunity for unique self-expression and building a sense of community. It's a huge change for the company that they didn't necessarily have to make. People have known for a long time that aspects of social media can have negative effects on mental health. But as one of the CEOs of Instagram stated, we will make decisions that hurt the business if they help people's well-being and health. You know, many members of the Instagram community are going to experience this change as an act of love. Regardless of whether or not the change sticks, here's what Instagram is telegraphing, expressing to their users. We hear you. We care about you. And that message alone is worth brand loyalty. Whatever business you are in, brand loyalty is your business plan. Now, with this outstanding example of a major brand demonstrating the kind of listening that is really going to resonate with consumers in 2021, let's dive into the 3 master skills of brand listening. Number 1, ask even when you know the answer. All the top-notch rock star brands are constantly asking their customers, what does our brand mean to you? How does our brand make you feel? What values do you get from using our brand? If your brand is merely skimming the surface for like the keywords of what your ideal individuals or your customers are saying, you're completely missing the heart, the deeper truth, the gold that lies in what they're really trying to tell you. If without asking them, you assume you already know, even the tiniest detail about what your customers want, need, and secretly desire, you are guaranteed to miss something that could have brought you closer to your ideal brand community. Have you ever felt the frustration of trying to express yourself to someone who thinks they already know what you're going to say? Many people listen in this way, a sort of half listening, half planning how they are going to respond. When the brand listens in this manner, people get frustrated, and then they get bored, and then they tune out. As Ralph Waldo Emerson puts it, there is a difference between truly listening and waiting for your turn to talk. Listening only to know how you want to respond is, in essence, defensive. And the last thing you want to position your brand is in opposition to your customers. You want to telegraph to them that your brand is always on their side and there with them through the thick and the thin. You want to stay connected and true. When you ask and keep asking and then truly listen and then listen some more, you're guaranteed to gain something that will draw you closer to your ideal brand community every time. This is the nuance in listening. There's always a deeper truth hidden just below the surface. There's always more to learn. It's your brand's responsibility to keep listening until your ideal customers feel safe enough to reveal their inner sanctum of hidden truth. As Mark Twain says, wisdom is the reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you would rather talked. I love that. When you want to grow closer to your ideal brand community, forget everything you think you know about who they are, what they are from your brand, how they feel about your brand, and ask them again and again and again. Times change, people change. We're in a big change right now. Perfect time to ask. Provide your ideal customers with endless opportunities to reveal more to you about who they are and who they wish to become. Provide your brand with endless opportunities to win brand loyalty. Number 2, assume everyone has something to teach you. Mr. Rogers would agree with this one. You have asked the questions and now the listening begins. It's time to lean in like your life depends on it, because the life of your brand does depend on it. Masterful brand listening requires intent. The intent to not only hear what is being said, but also to understand why it's being said. It's a learning process. A gathering of valuable information, both positive and negative, for both prove equally valuable to the brand that can truly listen. Treat every customer like they know something you don't, because they do. They know what they think. They know that what they feel and what they want. And that is always, always, always valuable insight for your brand. Number 3, the magic of yes and. The final master skill is probably my favorite because it is so powerful that it seems like magic. Yes and is a principle used in improvisational comedy, which I've done for decades. If you've ever seen something improvised that you could have sworn, and people have come up to me after shows saying, I could have sworn that you have scripted that, then you've witnessed the magic of yes and. The principle of yes and is literally to keep the relationship alive and interesting. Let me give you an example. Let's say you go out on stage and you start to pretend that you're brushing your teeth. Your scene partner walks on stage and sees what you're doing and says, are you painting the garage again? And you think, what the heck? That's where the scene was not supposed to go. So you say, no. What are you talking about? We're in the bathroom and I'm brushing my teeth. Now, not only option for the two of you going forward is that you have to be on opposite sides arguing over what's what. It'll go okay for a second, maybe. Like garage, bathroom argument, I don't know. Not so funny. But the options are severely limited, and the scene will die off very quickly. Now, let's say you're brushing your teeth, and in walks your partner. And they take one look at you and say, "Are you painting the garage again?" And you say, "Yeah, and this time I only drank about half the leftover paint." And your partner says, "Great, that means there's some left over to enjoy with dinner." And now your partner is right there with you in your corner. You're both connected on the same page, and the audience can get swept away in this weird alternate universe where drinking paint is perfectly normal. And there's no limitation where this scene can go. I mean, we've all loved the Addams Family, right? There's no limitations where a scene may go. The possibilities stay blown wide open, and the opportunity, here we go, listen in, the opportunity for nuanced relationships are continually fostered, uplifted by the magic of yes and. Yes and is a master skill for building brand loyalty that will work much in the same way as it does in improv, almost identically, to keep the relationship with your customer positive and ongoing, interesting and uplifting. When you're responding to the information provided by your customers, regardless of what you expected, what you wanted, what you hoped for, or what you agreed with, or what you fully intended them to say to you, when you choose to yes and what they are sharing with you, you keep the relationship alive. Yes and keeps the conversation going, keeps it in the air, keeps it wide open to find gold for your brand. Whatever opinion, impression, or experience your customer shares, the answer is yes, that's their truth. Yes, you hear them. Yes, you acknowledge what they are saying is valuable. The and part, the and provides contribution and further agreement. And we appreciate your feedback because it helps us. And this is how our brand is going to support you going forward. And we're going to build this product exactly like you just said. That was brilliant. And this is why we want you to be a major part of our community. Would you like to film a testimonial? I got a little taken away with that one. That was kind of fun. Instagram yes-anded their community in a major way by getting rid of likes. They were saying to the Instagram world, yes, we hear you. We care about you. We care about the impact our platform is having on your well-being, on the well-being of the world. So we're going to make a huge, risky change to our business in order to prioritize our relationship with you. Yes and is the secret behind the shared enthusiasm that can fill an entire arena with cheering fans. When we love something, we gather together just to feel connected to others who are invested in that same common interest. This is the resulting magic of yes and. Now that you have the 3 master skills of brand listening, go through each one of them. Ask even when you know the answer. Make a list of the questions that you think you know the answer to. Choose the one that is causing your brand the most, rift in your flow, and bring it to your brand community. See what you see, hear what you hear, and keep your intention to deeply listen. Number 2, assume everyone has something to teach you. By intently listening for the emotional, the nuanced reasons that lie beneath the surface of their answer, and then making them feel heard and supported by your brand in 2021, especially by responding with the magic of yes and. And by the way, if you would like me to go further about the power of yes and, I'd love to do that and how that works so well in branding and use all these examples of how that is power branding, because it really is power branding. Just leave me in the comments below, #yes and I will be happy to put that together for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode and it was of service to you, please let me know by hitting the subscribe button, clicking the bell too, so you don't miss a thing, because I release new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Treat these episodes as a masterclass for becoming an inspiration with branding for you and your brand. And as always, the way to become an inspiration to millions starts with our motto: love what you do and love how you do it. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll love.